6 decades after their legendary rise as half of the Beatles, Paul McCartney and Ringo Starr are still standing strong on the world stage. But their two bandmates, John Lennon and George Harrison, weren't so fortunate. Lennon was tragically gunned down in 1980, while Harrison passed away from cancer in 2001, two heartbreaking milestones that forever changed music history. What makes these losses even more haunting is how deeply personal they were for those left behind. Ringo Starr, in particular, never forgot his final conversation with George Harrison, a moment so raw and emotional that it left him in tears years later when recalling it for Martin Scorsese's 2011 documentary George Harrison, Living in the Material World. Lennon's death was sudden and violent. Shot multiple times outside his New York City apartment, he was gone within moments. Brutal, swift, and devastating. Harrison's journey, however, was painfully drawn out. After surviving a horrific knife attack inside his own home, his battle with cancer became a long and grueling fight. By 2001, his condition worsened, and he was being treated for a brain tumor in Switzerland. And yet, despite his failing health, George's final words to Ringo were filled with compassion, not self-pity. Imagine this. Ringo, rushing to be with his own daughter who was battling a brain tumor, tells George he has to leave. George, barely able to sit up, turns to him and says something that stops you in your tracks. "Do you want me to come with you?" Those were the last words Ringo ever heard from his dear friend. It's moments like these that remind us the Beatles weren't just rock icons. They were family. Even in their toughest years, George and Ringo's bond stood out. When Ringo briefly quit the band during the recording of the White Album, it was George who decorated his drum kit with fresh flowers to welcome him back, a simple gesture that spoke volumes about their friendship. George Harrison passed away on November 29, 2001, at just 58 years old, but his kindness, his music, and his final act of empathy toward Ringo Starr ensure that his legacy will never fade.